Hello guys, welcome back to Forza Horizon 4. Almost the end of the year, so 3 months into the game, I thought let's have a look on the rare cars in the auction house and such. People are always going on about it, but yeah. There is a few things happening or have been happening in this game which are, I don't know. Some cars are pretty hard to get, and if you do see them show up in the auction house, you need to pay 20 million for it, because that's what Legend Painter and Legend Tuners are asking for it. How do you become Legend Painter or Legend Tuner? That's pretty simple. You need 50,000 combo downloads, uses and likes either on your designs or on your tunes. You can become a Legend Painter or a Legend Tuner or both. That is all possible. So it's more of a popularity thing than anything else. Of course, Playgrounds is also not really helping with this favorable adjustments here and there, let's call it that. Certain cars were available, for instance, in pre-release. Before the game releases, they give a couple of builds to some famous YouTubers or people on Twitch or so on, and they could play. And for instance, a Ford Capri Forza edition was in the Forzathon shop during one of those weeks that those guys could play before anybody else, and they have their hands on it. Other than that, it has not been in the game yet. That's already one of those peculiar things that happens in this game. Other than that, you have the occasional glitches. Some people even think that some of the glitches are intentional, put in there. Who knows? The glitches that I'm aware of are at least 3. For instance, relating to that Ford Capri, around Thanksgiving, somebody pushed the wrong button, more specifically on the European servers, I believe, and you could get that Ford Capri Forza edition for a couple of hours in the Forzathon shop. But it was only for European players, and they could get their hands on that like that. Then you have these glitches going on. If you have the VIP, if you go through the campaign and you have done a full season, the full year, let's call it that, then you unlock the house, the 5 million house mansion thing that you get, and that comes with 5 or 10 super wheel spins. There was a glitch where if people disconnected their internet and then booted up the game and then reset the date, which people can do on a PC, reset the date to the time where you actually got that house in the game, they could like get the game up and running again, connect the internet again, and sorta on that date, because they reset the date on their PC, and they each time they did that, they got that house again. The house, nothing specific about it, but it came with 5 wheel spins, super wheel spins more specifically, and so people have been doing that for quite a while. And so they get like 5 wheel spins, another 5 wheel spins, another 5 wheel spins. So they had a couple of 100 wheel spins as much as I did. That's like the first glitch that I was aware of. And that took them quite a couple of weeks before they actually fixed it. And then we have what they call the Goliath glitch. Although it was not a Goliath glitch, it was an event glitch where you could go into an event with a friend. And if that friend left, then you get all the bugs from that race. And people call it the Goliath race because of the Goliath glitch, because of course it was the most interesting in Goliath, because people made a custom event. They did like 50 laps on Goliath, which takes you, if you should actually do that, it takes you about 7 hours or so to be able to do that. And they did it in like 15 seconds, because somebody joins, go into a co-op with a couple of friends, and you don't even have to drive. So the guy that started it up, he drives for like 10 meters and then he leaves the event. And the other guy, they were just sitting there, he got all the rewards. But the rewards, that means wheel spins, bucks, credits, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, from 50 laps of Goliaths. So in 15 seconds you could get like all the money and all the everything that came along with XP and so on. from 50 laps of Goliath, although it was only in 15 seconds. People have been doing that for a couple of days because that's how long it took before they fixed it, resulting in they leveling up like crazy. They have a couple of billion credits in their game and nothing is done about it. So that also means that level wise, in my case I'm level, what is it, 213 with a 2-star prestige. How does that work? It's pretty simple. When you start playing this game, you level up and you do 200 levels, and after 200 levels your game resets to 0 again, and then you get like this 1-star thing next to your name, and then and it goes on like that, and then you have to play 300 levels and then you get 2-star prestige, and then it starts counting again from 0, and it goes on like that. 300 levels for 2 stars, 400 levels for 3 stars, 500 levels for 4 stars, and it keeps going on like that till eventually you have 10-star prestige with an extra level of 2,999. If you add all of that up, you sort of come into, if you would be separate levels without the prestige thing, you probably have a maximum level of 9,500 or something. There are people out there who have it. They had it already in week 2 or 3 because of the Goliath glitch. That's already 2 glitches that I'm aware of. And then, well, you have the house and the Goliath, and then of course the Capri Thanksgiving glitch. That's number 3. And then there is this thing going on with people selling cars and buying cars on eBay and on websites. And so how do the people get their hands on it? I don't know. This whole car thing and auction house is one big charade. That's what it is. But nevertheless, some of these cars, yeah, you can barely get your hands on. There are also some cars which are upcoming. People already got their hands on. How? I have no idea. Is it some dev who is leaking them, or are people hacking the game files and get their way that? There are people selling, for instance, pre-order cars. Yeah, that is something dodgy. Let us be honest with it, because depending on where you buy this game, you get a pre-order bonus. If you pre-ordered the game, of course, not if you buy it today, but if you pre-ordered the game before the release, there were pre-order cars. In my case, I bought the game on Microsoft Store, so I get the Mclaren 720S pre-order. It's not a bad car, but yeah, nothing super about it. But for instance, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, which you get if you bought the game on Amazon, is pretty good. And it is not the same car as we have a 2016 GT3 RS in the game, but it's not the same car. It comes with different stats. The pre-order edition is way better. The pre-order edition is smoking each and every single car on Goliath. So that pre-order Porsche is something that people want, and you cannot get your hands on it. If you just happen to buy your game on Microsoft Store or on some other platform which was not Amazon, you cannot get your hands on that Porsche. And there are like 5 or 6 of those pre-order cars. In general, nothing special about it, but the Porsche is for one of those cars that people want. I know for the Microsoft it was the McLaren 720S. For Amazon it was the Porsche 911. I don't know where the other cars come. You have a Camaro pre-order. You have a Mercedes AMG GTR pre-order. There's also a Nissan GTR pre-order. There is a Ford Focus pre-order. There are like 6 or 7 of these pre-order cars available, but you, depending on where you bought the game, you can only get your hands on one. The rest you need to pick up in the auction house, which is very rare that's going to happen. Some of these cars will be available, although they are rare, for like 20 million, and that's because of another one of these dodgy things in this game, the legend status. How do you become a legend tuner or painter? It's pretty simple. You need a combination of 50,000. 50,000 downloads, uses and likes, either on your designs or on your tunes. In general, that means that you need about 35,000 downloads, and then in combination with people liking those designs or tunes and using them, that is all added up. The system sort of remembers that, and then once you reach 50,000, you become legend, and once you are legend, you can ask 20 million for every simple bloody car in the game. And that is what people are taking advantage of it. But also there something dodgy happening that yeah, in the beginning, the first 2 months or so of this game, there were only in the top 20 of designs and tunes, you only saw these guys that have pre-release access of the game. You have these popular guys like, I don't know, AR12 Gaming or Don't Go On Song or something like that. They have like pre-release and they had tunes and designs available. And everybody else who came into the game later, they play the game and they win a car here and there in the campaign. And then, oh, I want a design on it. They go look for it. Nobody had a design yet because everybody was just playing, except for those pre-release guys. So it's more of a popularity thing. And they got the downloads. In no time they were legend, painter, or tuner. And also because of the downloads, they were the highest in the top 20, and it was always those same cars that showed up. Now a couple of weeks ago they have changed it. Now you see like let's say the 5 most popular download-wise vehicles you will see in there, and then the other 10 or 15 that you see are actually daily renewed, so that you can actually get your designs or tunes up there now, and that might help you to get to the legend status eventually. But in the beginning it was just impossible. It was only the popular guys, let's call it that, who were up there, and you had not a chance. Although there might be people out there with way better designs than some of them, but you just could not get into that visibility thing. You need visibility. People need to see your car before they can actually download it, and that was not possible. Now it is possible, but yeah, a bit too late if you ask me. And other than that, the whole system is also a bit unfair, because if you're a new player in this game, yeah, you don't stand a chance. Because you have something as syncing the designs and syncing the tunes, not so much, because if you sync a tune, let's say S1900 from previous game, it will come into this game and it will give you a stat of S1874 or something. So the numbers are not matching up with the older games anymore. But that's not the case for the designs. So you can just sync your design whenever you made it in Forza Motorsport or Forza Horizon, previous older titles. You can just sync the games over. There are people out there who have like 200-300 designs, just sync them over and they have 300 designs available. Yeah, there's no way a new player can do that in that short amount of time, making 300 designs. That's just not possible. So yeah, there are also that is a bit... It's not fair to new players because they don't have no way they can make 300 designs in that short amount of time, while the other just sync them, which is like an operation that takes like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes to sync 300 designs. The only thing you have to do afterwards is share them, and you have 300 designs in your storefront suddenly, which you have made in Forza Horizon 3 or Forza Motorsport 6, or it goes back all the way to Forza Horizon 2, I think, that you can sync your designs from. If that same car when you made the design is in this game, you can sync it. So yeah, it's a bit... That whole auction house, the idea behind it might be cool and funny and play around a bit selling and buying cars, but it's one unfair, dodgy business, that whole auction house thing. Nevertheless, there are some things which you are hard to find. So let's quickly go over them. Where do all these cars come from? Because yeah, you have the Autoshow, couple of hundred of cars available there, but there are also a bunch which are not available. So where do they come from? So let's start with Abarth. I sort of have my cars up here, and here you see the car list, so you can sort of follow what's going on. Abarth, as you can see here, it always says Autoshow, and that's pretty simple. These 4 Abarths you can buy in the Autoshow. If you want them, you can just buy them for 43,000, 48, 38, 35. I don't know if there's some sort of VIP discount. I have the VIP packets. If not, you might buy a little bit more in the Autoshow, but it will not be much more. Acura, the same story. 3 cars available in Autoshow. You can just buy these things. Then we come to Alfa Romeo. We have the Stelvio here, which is a car pass car. Either VIP or car pass you need to have. In the VIP, the car pass is included, so that's sort of the same. And then one of these weeks, it's 2 cars a week for 21 weeks. I think we are now week 16 or so. So even Or there are 16 which are already shown, but there are still 5 weeks after that, so there are 10 more cars to come than those that we know of. But the Stelvio is one of them. The Giulia Quadrifoglio Forza Edition, that goes for most of the Forza Edition cars. You can only get from wheel spins. Occasionally they show up in the Forzaton shop, where you can buy them for 250 or 300 points. That is, the points are easy to get by doing daily, weekly challenges, or the Forzaton every hour, or stuff like that. So also that, not that interesting. Over here, 8C Competizione, the same story, wheel spin only, and that's how you can get your hands on. But these Forza editions, they're becoming less, let's say, not so rare, because you can find most of them in the auction house, and you can buy them there potentially. Let's see, what else do we have? We have this 1934 P3. That thing comes with the castle, the Edinburgh Castle. If you buy it in the city over there, it's not sure, I think, what was it? 10 million, 15, 25 million, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, for instance, by using the Goliath glitch, a lot of people just bought the houses. Some people just use it once or twice, that Goliath glitch, to buy all the houses and the castles. Other people have been using it for like a week in a row, and they are maximum level. But if you have the funds to buy the Edinburgh Castle, then you will just get this thing in your garage, I think. You don't even have to pick it up here or there, you just get it in your garage. Alumi Craft, nothing special about it, except for the Forza edition, which is wheel spin only, but many available in the auction house as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It also has been in Forzaton already, where you could just buy it for a couple of points and so on. AMC, nothing wrong with it. They can just buy it. What else do we have? The AMG Transport Dynamic Warthog. Not of my interest, so I didn't buy it yet, but you can just buy that thing in the Autoshow as well. Now we come to Ariel. We have the Nomad, which you can just buy in the Autoshow, and then this Atom 500. Let's have a look on the list here. Reach level 11 in the Speed Zone PR stunts. You have Speed Zones and Speed Traps, that's called the PR stunts. Speed Zone level 11. If you reach level 11, you will unlock this Atom 500. It's the only way to get it. You cannot buy it in the Autoshow. You cannot get it from wheel spins or in Forzaton. I don't think it has been in there yet, so this is a pretty rare car. I don't know how it's doing on the auction house, but it might be possible none available, and if they are, they go for 20 million. It might very well be possible. Let's see, Ascari, nothing wrong with it. Aston Martin, we have a couple here. This Vantage 2018 is a car pass. We have the Forza edition of the Vulcan. It's wheel spin only. It also was available one of the seasons in Team Online Adventure. Also there, they come with, if you reach League 15 or you reach League 10 or 5, they usually put a car in there as well, which you get at the end of the season. A season in Team Online Adventure is 4 weeks. After 4 weeks you get the rewards, depending on the league that you reach within that time, then you will get those rewards. And the Vulcan was one of them as well, but it was pretty high. I think you needed to League 5 or even League 1 that you needed to get that Vulcan. But it also has been in the Forzaton shop. You can get it from the wheel spins and so on. Let's have a look. Is there anything else on this? Yeah, this 1960 Aston Martin is the DB4 is a barn find, which also means you could only win it once in the game. So that kind of makes it a rare car. But you can also, with these cars, what's special about the barn finds is you cannot remove them. Even if some of them you don't want, you cannot remove them. Remove from your garage is not an option. So the only way to get this thing, if you don't want it, you want to get rid of it, you need to sell it in the auction house. But these barn finds in general are not that rare, so you can just find them in the auction house. The problem with the barn finds itself is if you don't want them, to get rid of them is the hardest part. Although there is an option now, you can sell it in the auction house, and if it does not sell, which is very likely, then you can sort of get it back in, but not in your garage. You sort of stuck it in your auction garage. And that goes for all the cars, because Playground has made a change there, and that is in the past, as long as you were playing, you could keep cars there. That especially for the so-called snipers, that was like a way to get, although their garage was full with 550 cars, they could still buy cars and snipe cars, and they just stuck them up in their auction house garage. And then whenever the time was there, they sold the car, and then they could get like one of the auction house cars in their normal garage and then put it up for auction for 20 million. That's how the Legend Painter are doing it. They're sniping those cars and they're stocking them in their auction garage. But the things have changed now, that every car that goes into your auction garage, it needs to be out of there in 60 days. So you have 60 days times to get rid of the cars. If not, then Playground Games just takes it from your auction garage. So that is a way, of course that is probably to go against those Legend Sniper things, but it's also a way to get rid of your barn finds if you really want to. You can sell it in the auction house. If it doesn't sell, just stock it in your auction garage. If it's still there after 60 days, Playground will take it out for you. It is a way to get rid of it. Then we come to Audi. Let's adjust the list here a little bit so that you guys can follow. There we go. Let's have a look. Anything special here? Not immediately. Also not here. That's all Autoshow. We have a wheel spin only here with the 2010 Audi TT RS. The car itself, it's not even that super good, but it is something special. Since it's only available in wheel spin, it, as far as I know, hasn't been in Forza Ton or Team Online or whatever. So the only way that you can get it is from the wheel spin. It doesn't show up very often in their auction house. No. If you're lucky, you might be able to pick one up. I didn't do that. This one I was lucky to win it from the wheel spin, but if it's one of those cars, if you look for it, you will not find it in the auction house most of the time. And if you do see it, it will probably be for 20 million by one of the Legend Painters. That's how it goes. It's one of those cars, if you can win it from a wheel spin, keep it in your garage. That's what it comes down to. You never know, you might end up getting a Legend Painter or Tuner. You can ask 20 million for it. The rest of these Audis, not so much. This 1983 Sport Quattro is a barn find. There is also a number 2 Sport Quattro, but that is, you can just get from the auto show. Then we come to Alston. The Taxi 1964 is wheel spin only. Very hard to get. If you find it in the auction house, forget about it. If it does show up, it's 20 million. No doubt about it. Let's see. Alston, nothing special about it. You also have Auto Union. You can just buy in the auto show. I think probably 10 million that one. It's a 1939 race car. Yeah. All the old cars in general are pretty much 2.5 million or 5 million or 10 million. Very simple. Pretty high prices. BAC Mono, nothing special about it. Bentley, we have a wheel spin only for the Forza edition. As per most of these Forza edition cars, wheel spin only. It has been in the Forza Ton shop. You could buy it for 250 or 300 points if you really wanted to. But yeah, it is in the end it's a GT Speed with the Forza edition. You also have the normal GT Speed, which you can just buy in the auto show. The only thing for Bentley that I'm aware of is this thing here. The 4.5 liter supercharged is a barn find, but a barn find that only unlocks if you buy Bamberg Castle, which is the castle on the beach there on the east side of the map. If you buy that thing, then it will unlock a barn find. If you go to that barn find, you will find this thing here. Now we come to BMW. The i8 Roadster is a car pass car. A couple of BMWs in the car pass, I think. Car pass is one of those cars that every Friday 2 of them unlock for 21 weeks. And also if you have the VIP, it is included in there as well. So then also you can get your hands on it. Other than that, not available anywhere. The BMW M5 2018 is one of 6 cars that came with Fortune Island. If you ride on Fortune Island, you could go to the Autoshow and you can actually download 6 cars for free. This 2018 M5 is one of them. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you do not have Fortune Island, if you can actually get your hands on this car. They are available in the auction house, some of them, but I don't know if you can buy it. I'm not 100% sure. Usually, it's VIP Fortune Island, or you have to buy the expansion. And if you want to get one of those cars from the auction house and you click on it to buy it, it usually says, sorry, but you need to buy the VIP, or you need to buy this or that. That's how it usually goes. But it might be possible that you can get your hands on it, although I doubt it. Let's have a look. Anything else here? The M6 Forza Edition, as with many Forza Editions, wheel spin only, occasionally in the Forzathon shop or in Team Online Adventure. Those where you can get those things. Going through, there was here this M3 2005. Let me check to be sure. Yeah. You need to reach level 8 in the Drift Run PR stunt. So the drift zones on the map, if you go through them and if you play them, you level up, like with anything within all the game structure. If you level up, you reach level 8 in the drift zones, then you get this 2005 M3. Pretty popular car. Some people just don't know how to get it, and then they are paying a lot of money from it on the auction house. It's one of those cars that is probably because of Need for Speed background or so that it goes back or whatever. So people are willing to pay a lot of them. Other people know that, they just buy everything is available out there, and then they can sell them for 20 million. That's sort of how they dominate the market, in such a way they buy out all the cheap ones and then work their way up to a legend painter or tuner, and then you see those cars show up again one by one, occasionally every day another one or so, for 20 million, which is, as I said, completely big charade, that whole auction house. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's have a look. Forza Edition here, 1988 M5, wheel spin only as well. What else do we have here? The Bowler, no, that's nothing special about it. The same goes for the Buick. We also have a couple of Bugattis. Not interested in them, so I haven't got one single of them in my garage. But there are 4 available in the Autoshow. But all 4 can just be bought. No special car there. Cadillac, on the other hand, 2 from the Autoshow, but we also have the XDS limousine. Wheel spin only. And it also doesn't even show up that often in the wheel spins. So the other solution is auction house, and yeah, for sure that these things go 20 million only. If there is not one up for 20 million, then there will be not one up at all. Unless you're really lucky. That goes for all of these auction house sniper cars, let's call it that. Sometimes the snipers are not awake, and then you can pick your hands on it very cheaply, because that's what the problem is with these cars. Most of them you can pick up very cheaply if the legend painters or tuners would not be involved. But yeah, it is a bit. If you put this up, even if you're like within a team or so, and you try to like do a little bit of a deal with your teammate, even if you're on TeamSpeak or Discord with your teammate, and let's say I would put this up and one of my teammates want this thing, more than likely going to be too late. Because, yeah, there are some rumors out there that there are bots or scripts or some sort of search engine programs out there, and they search for all these rare cars. And yeah, if you're up against something optimized as a human being, you lose. Pretty simple. You cannot search as fast as some sort of computer thing does. And that's why very often people are missing these things. Although they are on a TeamSpeak or on Discord with each other, trying to give each other a cheap car, let's put it that way, and damn, it's gone. Before you can even click on like buy it, it will be too late, it's already sold. And that's because you're up against these stupid programs. Another one reason why this whole auction house thing is completely charade. The Can-Am is a car pass car. The Caterham Forza Edition has been in the Forzathon shop. It's available on wheel spins, and I think it also has been in Team Online Adventure one time or another. Then we come to Chevrolet, where we have 3 car pass cars to start with. The ZR1 2019 and the ZL1 2018. Those were actually this week's car pass cars. A couple of weeks ago we had the Silverado Liberty Design drift truck. What else do we have here? The Colorado ZR2, again one of those cars. It was Forzathon shop. The only way to get it was through the Forzathon shop in I think week number 3. Some people bought quite a bit of it. In the beginning you could get this. That's how it usually is with these Forzathon things. You could buy them because they're available, and some people buy a few more. And then they're also in the auction house like it's nothing. But then over time, week after week, you see them disappear from the auction house. And then for new players, they can't get their hands on because they missed the beginning where this thing was available in Forzathon. And yep, the result is none available on the auction house. The snipers also see that, they get their hands on the remaining ones and they sell them for 20 million afterwards. So a simple 46,000 pickup truck, and it's going for 20 million on the auction house. Yeah, it is what it is, hey. Let's see, the rest is like kind of normal. The Monte Carlo, that's not so normal. You need to reach level 10 in the Racer at Horizon story. The story comes with 10 chapters, as most of the stories, and in each of these chapters you can get 3 stars. If you get all of them, 30 stars, then you get this 1988 Monte Carlo. Now, for some people that is like a piece of cake. Other people apparently have quite a hard time at getting those 30 stars within those stories, which makes these cars pretty wanted and pretty unique. I haven't checked, but more than likely this Monte Carlo will also be one very hard to find on the auction house, and if you do find it, legend painters get their hands on it, or legend tuners, and you will sell them for 20 million. The same, not so sure about this one though, but 1979 Camaro, also wheel spin only, but that might be one of those cars that occasionally you see on the auction house and you can pick it up. Some of these cars, it's like, yeah, why one car you can find and another one not? It's, yeah, a bit of demand and supply, I think. Some of these so-called wheel spin only cars you can easily pick up. I'm thinking like one of the Lotuses is out there very often. Other cars you do not see, and then you think why? I don't know, but it is what it is. Let's see, anything else here? A Forza edition here of the Nova. Also that, as always, you can get it from a wheel spin, occasionally in the Forzathon shop, or they put it in online adventure or something like that. Let's see, go over it, nothing else anymore. The Chrysler, no, you can just get that, the Datsun as well. Then we come to Dodge. Dodge, the Challenger Demon is a stunt driver story. That's the first story that's available within the campaign, and also there, same story. 10 chapters, 3 stars. You need to get 30 stars to get this demon, and that's where you get it from. Apparently some people have problems with that, so it's also one of those wanted cars. Very hard to find in the auction house, and if you do find it, legend tuner painters get their hands on it, and you need to pay 20 million for it. Or you can just go try to get 30 stars in the stunt driver story, and you just get this thing. Pretty easy, and probably the best way to do it, because yeah, we're gonna pay 20 million for a 150,000 car. Let's see. Nope, nothing else. Donkervoort. Exocet Off-Road. Exomotive is the brand. This is one of those 6 cars that you could just download if you arrived on Fortune Island. Free to download 6 cars if you have that expansion, and this is one of them. Ferrari 812 Superfast was Forzathon only in week number 3, but I do believe that in the current online season you can win a few of those early Forzathon cars, and this one is one of them. But then you need to reach a certain league within that online adventure though, so it's not that easy to get. So you need to do quite some racing, level up, try to get into a higher league. I think it's league 10 or 15 that you need to reach for this thing now. For the 812 Superfast. But yeah, I was there when it was available in Forzathon, and I bought two, one for X-Class, one for S2, so I have two available at the moment. Going through the Ferraris again. We have the 2005 FXX, it's a car pass car. Other than that, most of them you can just get in the Autoshow. Then we come to Ford. This the birthday design is a car pass. The rest you can get. The 2017 Raptor. I think I got that like on day one. Because I played Forza Horizon 3, it was sort of a reward. Because you played the previous title of this series, that you get this Raptor as a reward. That's sort of how you get your hands on it. Let's have a look. The 2011 Raptor is wheel spin only, I think. For some reason or another. Don't ask me why, but... Yep, it's wheel spin only. So the only way to get your hands on it is through a wheel spin. But again, this is just a pickup Raptor. And there is also a newer version of that in the game. I don't know. I haven't checked yet on the auction house, but more than likely this is just a thing that you can find in the auction house. Although it is wheel spin only. The Transit Super Sport Van Forza Edition is VIP related. If you have the VIP edition, then you come into this game, you get 3 rewards for buying the VIP, and this Super Sport Forza Edition is one of them. The other one is the Pagani Zonda R, and there was one more I thought, but we will see if we run into it. There's also a normal one of this super van, but I don't know, it probably will not come with the same stats. That's usually how it is, that the Forza editions are a little bit different stats or so. The Crown Victoria 2010, the police car, yeah, it's one of those wanted cars, so they did not put it in the auto show, they put it wheel spin only. And yeah, that is for sure one of those cars wanted, supply demand thing. Legend painters and tuners get their hands on it. If you find it in the auto show, you're gonna pay 20 million for it. Pretty simple. So yeah, you need to be lucky to win it from a wheel spin. 2009 Ford Focus, nothing wrong with it. Let's have a look. The SVT Cobra 2000, nothing wrong with it, but this 1993 on the other hand is wheel spin only. Not in the Forzathon, not in online, only wheel spins or auction house. And from what I know, it's not much available in the auction house. So it's one of those 20 million cars, meanwhile. Then we have the 1986 Escort, which is a barn find. Then we have the 1985 RS200. And that is related to a story or something, I think. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's related to the Dirt series. You have to reach level 4. If you play the Dirt races, the Dirt events, and you reach level 4, you will get that thing. It's probably the first one that you get in that series. The XB Falcon GT 1973 is wheel spin only. It's one of those rare cars. I don't know how it's doing in the auction house. Is it available or not? But you can win it from a wheel spin. You also have a 1972 Falcon XA, a normal one you can buy in the auto show, and the Forza edition is also same story as with all the Forza editions, wheel spin only. So we have 2 of these Falcon, the XA Horizon edition and the XB wheel spin only. The Capri, as I said, is a Forza edition available from that thing, but it has not been in the game. Except for the guys who had access to it pre-release. Even those guys with VIP that had early access, that's not pre-release. There was before that some people were playing already 3-4 weeks, and they have access because it was available to them in the Forzathon shop by the when they were playing at that time. Later on, they haven't brought it yet, except for that glitch with Thanksgiving in Europe, where some people could pick it up. So it's kind of a rare car. Maybe if you're really lucky, you will go through the auction house hours and hours, you might be able to see somebody post it, but I kind of doubt it. The 1969 Mustang Bus is a Drift Club story. Again here, 10 chapters, 3 stars in each chapter. You need all of the 30 stars, and then you will unlock this Mustang Bus 1969. This can be bought. The 1964 GT4 Mark I is a barn find. It was the last barn find that we got. There was like one missing at the end of the campaign, and then took a week or two longer before it actually unlocked that barn find. Probably related to the last season or something like that, and that's where we got this thing. It's worth 9 million, and you can also ask 9 million for it. It's one of those cars that is used to do some deals on the auction house or something. Sometimes people sell cars and then other people buy them from them, and then that's sort of how they make some sort of deals, which is another one of those dodgy moves, if you ask me. The rest of Ford is sort of what it is. Then we come to Formula Drift is related to VIP. If you buy the VIP pack, you have these 7 drift cars, which come under the Formula Drift brand. And that's the Maloo, the Mustang, a Viper, a couple of 240 SXs, and a BMW 325i. Also, those 7 cars are the cars that you drive in Drift Club 2.0 on Fortune Island. Funko Motorsports, that buggy thing, it's one of those 6 cars that you can download if you arrive on Fortune Island. That's where that comes from. GMC. Not mannequin. The Hennessy, I need to check. Can you actually buy that, or is that one related? Oh yeah, we can actually buy it. So thought it was related for a second to one of the stories, but apparently not. Holden, nothing special about it. You can buy most of them, I think. Honda, on the other hand, is a bit here and there some stuff compared to normal. The Civic 2018 was Forzathon, one of the past weeks. I think you could buy this thing. The 2016 Civic Coupe GRC, Global Rallycross car, is Car Pass. Let's have a look. The 2005, I think it is. Yep, 2005 Honda Nsx, wheel spin only. I don't know how it's doing in the auction house, but at the time that when I was searching for it, it was very hard to get. You could not, most of the time you just didn't find it. So I'm guessing this over time became also one of those 20 million cars. The same goes for this 2004 Civic Type-R. Also available through the wheel spins occasionally. If you're lucky, you can pick it up from a wheel spin, but it's the only way to get it. That makes it a bit of a unique car, and yeah, some of them, it's Honda's popular in certain regions within the car business, let's call it that, and then they become rare and they become 20 million. Although there's also a 1992 Nsx, which you can just buy in the Autoshow. Same goes for the Civics, several types available. Let's see, the Civic CRX Mugen 1984 is Forzathon. It was available in the Forzathon not so long ago, 1-2 weeks ago I think. You could pick it up from Forzathon, but it's also the only way to get your hands on it. The 1974 Civic RS is Car Pass, last week or so I think. Then we have the Gymkhanas, well, not all of them are Gymkhanas, but the Hoonigans. Well, just a list here because yeah, that is like one big. Let's have a look. We have the 2017 Gymkhana 10 Ford Fiesta, and that is Car Pass apparently. Oh, Forzathon it was. There is a Ford Escort Group A Gymkhana 10 that will be Car Pass, but that still needs to come. This 2016 Ford Focus Gymkhana 10 was Forza Ton. This 2015 Ford Fiesta ST-RX 43 was Gymkhana 8, and that is one of the 6 cars that you can get from arriving on Fortune Island. You can freely download it if you have that thing when you arrive there. The Mazda RX-7 you can just buy in the Autoshow. The 1991 Porsche 911 Turbo RWB is related to one of the campaign things, Street Scene. Reach level 17. Level 17 in Street Scene, then you unlock this 911 Turbo. The 1991 Gymkhana 10 Ford Escort is Car Pass. The same goes for the 1977 pickup Ford F-150 Hoonie truck. The Chevrolet Napalm Nova Hoonigan is wheel spin only. You can only win it through a wheel spin, and other than that you cannot get your hands on it. Then we have the Hoonicorn, the Mustang 1965, but there are 2 versions of it. There's a normal one which you can buy in the Autoshow, and you have this Gymkhana 10 version 2 as it's called in the auction house. That was only available in Forza Ton. And the Bel Air is something you can just buy as far as I know. Now we come to the Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels, if you check the wiki list, there are 4 available. The Mustang and the Rip Rod, not very sure if they're actually going to show up in this game. Maybe in the next expansion or something related to it, but at this moment in time they're not in the game yet. The other 2, the Twin Mill and the Bone Shaker, are. The Bone Shaker you could just get from the Forza Ton a couple of weeks ago, but it's also the only way to get it was in that Forza Ton. Maybe it might come back over time, but at this moment in time only once in the game. You cannot get it in the Autoshow. Same goes for the Twin Mill. The Twin Mill was not even in wheel spins or in Forza Ton. No, you had to do the Cotswold Super Sprint in one of the seasonal events. You always have to check the seasonal events to see if there's not a car in there, because it might be a unique car, and this Twin Mill was in there. I think it was summer season or so that we suddenly there was this car in. Occasionally you also find cars in there which you can find in the Autoshow, but this time it was not the case. It was this Hot Wheels Twin Mill. HSV, no, nothing wrong with that. The Hummer on the other hand, wheel spin only. As you can see, I have 2. You can pick this thing up for like 129,000, but that's no longer the case. Unless you are lucky and find one very cheap with somebody who has no idea what he's holding and you just put it up for auction. Then you can pick it up for about 129,000, but if the snipers are about, you can forget about it, because they buy this thing out and they put some design on it or whatever, and they ask 20 million for it. But I have 2, as you can see, so although it's a 112,000 car, I can ask 20 million for this if I'm Legend Painter or Tuner, which I don't bother doing, but I'm also not going to put it up for 120,000, so I will see what I will do with it. Hyundai is no. The Infinity, that's all Autoshow. Jaguar, is there anything about Jaguar? Yeah, I think there are a few. This XKRS GT is level 16 from the Road Series. If you go through the Road Series, level 16, you will get this thing in your garage. Other than that, it's all pretty normal. Although there is also some barn finds here and there, I think. This is a barn find, for instance, the 1993 XJ220. And also this E-Type S1 is a barn find. And then we have a 1953 C-Type is Car Pass. Car Pass VIP thing. And the lightweight E-Type is it's 10 million, but when I bought the 2 million house, which also it comes with fast travel anywhere, so that's like one of those houses that people usually get because they want to fast travel where they want to go. it also came with some super wheel spins, and I did the super wheel spin and I won this thing, which is actually a 10 million car. So in a way, it already refunded my 2 million house because it gave me a car which is worth 10 million. So in theory, I could sell it on the auction house for like, I don't know, 5-6 million. I don't know if they actually work, but then we come to the James Bond edition, same as the Formula Drift, related to the VIP, or you can buy this James Bond edition pack separately, I'm assuming. It comes with 10 cars, a couple of Aston Martins, a Lotus, a BMW, Jaguar, Citroen, AMC. Then we come to Jeep. Jeep, not much available in the auto show, as you will see. And what is available in the auto show, let's have a look. The two oldest ones, I guess. 1967 Jeep and Renegade and the 2012 Wrangler. They are available in the auto show. The rest is a bit different story. The 2014 Grand Cherokee SRT is wheel spin only, and over time it became a rarity, and now it's one of those 20 million cars on the charade auction house thing. The Trailcat is dirt series, no, cross country. Cross country reach level 4, and in that same cross country series reach level 8 you will find the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. So those are two campaign cars, let's call it that. The Kia Stinger is auto show. Koenigsegg, there are a couple available in the auto show, the Agera, the 121 and the Regera, but there are also two which are different, and this Agera RS is car pass, and this CC8S is in one of the treasure chests, more specifically chest number 5 in Fortune Island. There are 6 cars that you can download if you arrive there, but there are also a couple of cars in the chests, 4, and this is one of them. Xbo GT4 is Forzaton only, was available a couple of weeks ago. That's where that thing comes from. The other one is just available in the auto show. The 2019 Urus is also a chest, Fortune Island related, chest number 2. That's where that one comes from. The 2016 Aventador is wheel spin only. That is the LP750. You can only get that through the wheel spin. I don't know how it's doing on the auction house, but might be also. I know that it was one of the first week. It was also available in online adventure. Depending on your league, one of those leagues was related to this car as well. I think it also has been in. Not sure in the Forzaton. What has been in the Forzaton for sure was the Forza edition. You could pick it up for a couple of 250 or 300 Forzaton points, and that is the normal one, the LP700, but Forza edition. So also wheel spin or Forzaton only, those one. The Aventador J is also, that's the last one I think on Fortune Island, crate number 10 or treasure chest as they call it, number 10. That's where you find the Aventador J. Let's see. The Gallardo Spider Performante is car pass. The Murcielago, I'm gonna have a look. No, you can just buy that thing. The Reventon, on the other hand, is the first one which is hidden in a certain car. You have this Miura P400, and if you check into the skill trees, the perks of that car, you will actually find the Reventon Forza edition. So it's sort of like get one car and you get the other one inside of it. That's one of these. There are a few cars like that. So that's where this Reventon Forza edition comes from. I think it might be possible that it was also available in the Forzaton shop 1 week, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Let's see, the Diablo is you can just get the Pontiac as well, and the LM as well, just in the auto show available, as long as I remember. What else do we have? The Jarama, which will be available next week or the week after that, I think, in Car Pass, which is also a pretty old one, 1977 or so. Lancia, we have this Delta HF Integrale Evo, wheel spin only, but it also has been in Online Adventure and I think even in the Forzathon. So it's rare, but not so rare. But I have noticed that it's pretty hard to find in the auction house, so I guess it's rare, but you could get your hands on it. It's becoming less and less rare because, yeah, you could get your hands on wheel spin. If you play Team Online Adventure, you could get it. It was also Forzathon, so yeah, a bit of options here. That was it, I think, for the Lancia. The rest is just get it from the Autoshow if you want it. The Land Rover, we have the Forza edition here of this 1972, which of course is Forza edition, wheel spin only, but also Forzathon shop it has been, and you can pretty easy pick it up in the auction house as well. Some of these Forza editions you can just find there. It's one of those things that, yeah, I guess nobody really wants, and then you find many of them on the auction house. And then we also have the 1973 Range Rover barn find. Bit of a special one in that aspect that it's the winter barn find. So you have to wait till it's winter season and the lake is frozen to find that barn, because the barn is on the lake, and yeah, you kind of drown if you drive into the lake. Unless it's winter and the lake is frozen, then you can actually drive to that barn and pick it up. Let's see. Other than that, the Lola, no, that was Forza Horizon 3, where it was kind of rare. Not so much here. You can just buy it in the Autoshow. Now we come to the Lotus. Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. A couple from the Autoshow here, the three first one. Now we have the 211. The 211 and the Elise 11S, both of them are wheel spin only. But I believe the Elise is pretty hard to get in the auction house, and the 211, its page is full of them. Although it's wheel spin only, in theory these are also rare cars, but apparently not that much wanted, so they just throw them out in the auction house like crazy. The rest is the Elise GT1 is a barn find, and the rest is Autoshow. Maserati. Yeah, that's a bit. We have this MC12, and if you buy this one, which you can just get from the Autoshow, although it is 1 million, inside of that car, it's this one even, 6 million, Maserati 300S. Inside of that car, you will find the Forza edition of the MC12. So it's a bit of a rare car in that way that you have to pay 6 million for this thing in the Autoshow, or if you can buy it cheaper on the auction house, of course. But that is a bit, of course, the risky business of the auction house as well. If you buy this car, inside is this MC12 Forza edition, but that's only once. So most likely, if you find one of these on the auction house, unless really somebody didn't know what he was doing, that car will be gone. If it's claimed once, then it will be out of there. It will still be available in the perk 3 thing there, but it will say collected or something like that. So I would not advise you to buy this car on the auction house and then hoping that that MC12 is in there, because the MC12 is a pretty good one, but in Forza edition that is. I'm not so sure about the normal one. Then we have a bunch of Mazdas, nothing special about it except for this RX-7 Spirit, which is car pass. You need to have the car pass, but all the rest of the Mazdas can be bought. Mclaren is the 650S. Where is it? Spider. Oh, here it is. The 650S Spider is car pass, and then if you bought the game in the Microsoft Store, pre-ordered the game, I must say, then you get this 720S Coupe pre-order. There is a normal 720 available in the Autoshow, but this pre-order, pretty good one, but it's not that much of a difference compared to, for instance, that Porsche thing there. Mercedes, you have an AMG GTS and GTR. GTR also has a pre-order edition. Not sure where that comes from. certain store where you could buy the game came with the GTR pre-order edition. Yeah, some of them called Mercedes AMG, the other one Mercedes Benz, but yeah, this E63 AMG, some reason or another, it's wheel spin only, and for some reason or another, it became a rare car, and you more than likely have to pay 20 million for it if you look for it on the Autoshow. I don't find anything special about it. It's a bit of a sedan, but it's also a big, heavy boat, so racing-wise, it's not that bad, but there are faster cars out there. Then we also have one of the perk trees, this, oh my god, this SL65 Black Series Forza Edition is something that you can get if you buy this thing, the 300 SL Coupe. That thing is 1.2 million in the Autoshow, and inside of that car is the SL65 Black Series Forza Edition. It's one of those perk cars again. MG, nothing. Yeah, the MG, I think one of them is a barn find. Let's have a look. Yeah, the 1965. Don't have that even yet. The 1965, 1966 it should be. MGB GT is that's a barn find. It also it was at one point or another it was popular in the auction house because inside of this car is although it's only a $30,000 car, is 300,000 credits inside of this one. In the perks, some of these cars have credits in the perks, and that's why it was very popular. People were gambling, could pick it up for like 10-15,000 or so on the auction house. Some people have like bought a bunch of them, and in some of these the 300,000 was still in, so they were actually making a good deal. It was one of those cars in the beginning that was a way to get you some money, although it was a bit risky because just like with the Forza Edition cars, also with this credit goes the same. The cars can be, the money can be gone already. If it's claimed once, yeah, it's gone. The Mini, the 1965 is a barn find. And then we have wheel spin only, this John Cooper Works GP 2012. Only can find that thing in the wheel spins. I'm not so sure what's the deal on the auction house with this one. But it might be possible that meanwhile it became popular. These wheel spins only like this, that's sort of like the Horizon edition from Forza Horizon 3, and they now sort of made them wheel spin only or something. Morgan is the Era GT is car pass, but that's only tomorrow I think, so I don't have that one yet. The Morris Minor Series 2 Traveler, that's this thing here, is one of those 6 Fortune Island cars that you can download when you arrive there. So that is that. Then we come to Nissan. Quickly adjust the list here. The Sentra is car pass. The Titan Warrior Concept Forza Edition is just like the Transit Van and the Pagani Zonda, is a VIP welcome gift. If you have the VIP welcome, you had like these 3 Forza Edition cars in your garage as a welcome gift, and this is one of them. But yeah, as you can see, mine is not even tuned yet because it's not that good. Nothing beats the Raptors in general, although the Rams maybe, but in general for off-roading, the Raptor is 2017 is the only thing you need. Let's have a look. Is there anything else here? I don't think so immediately. Here we have the 2002 Skyline. Of course, Paul Walker reasons and others. It's very popular, and it's also very... It's not that hard to get because you need to reach level 4 in the Street Scene series. But yeah, maybe there are some people out there who do not play the campaign or don't play the races. I don't know, but... Or they just sell the car, I don't want it, and then later on, oh yeah, I want it, and yeah. It's a pretty unique one in that you can only get it once, and this R390 is 730,000 in the Autoshow. Not so special about it, whether it not be that inside of this car, in the perks again, is this Nissan Nismo Gtr Le Mans Forza Edition. That's inside that R390. You also have a normal Nismo Gtr Le Mans, but also that one is kind of unique. It's wheel spin only. So both of these Nissan's GTR, one wheel spin, the other one is inside of the R390, and they handle pretty cool. Let's have a look. That is about it, I think. From Nissan, bunch of Nissans in the game, but yeah, there are car paths and such, but most of the rest is something you can just get. Let's see, the Noble is 11 is what you need to reach. Level 11 in the speed trap PR stunts things. So do a bunch of speed traps till you are level 11, and then you will get this Noble M600. The rest is just Autoshow stuff. The Paganis on our Forza edition next to the van, and the Titan Warrior, a welcome gift for VIP members. You can get the normal Zonda R in the Autoshow. Peel, none of them available in the Autoshow. This P50 here is a barn find, and the Trident is a car pass car. The Penhole Shola is reached level 14 in the cross country series, so that's his campaign car, more or less. You can only win it once, not available in the Autoshow. That's sort of how it goes with these campaign cars. The Peugeot 205 Turbo 16 Forza Edition is wheel spin only. It also was available in Forzathon. You could win it in Online Adventure, but other than that, cannot get your hands on it unless you want to buy the normal one in the Autoshow. That is possible. Plymouth Polaris, nothing wrong with that. Over here we have Pontiac. We have this 1973 Trans Am SD455, and that one is wheel spin only. I'm not so sure how that one is doing in the auction house, but it might be one of those rare which goes high price. And then we come to Porsche, which is also yeah, Forza Horizon 3. It was a VIP pack, no longer. You can buy most of them in the Autoshow now, although not all of them. 2019 was the first Forzathon reward in week number 1. GT3 RS. I bought 2, as you can see. I have one in X and one in S2. It also was available in Forzathon. Well, it was Forzathon week 1, but there was a poll going on the forum. They sort of do like a poll occasionally, a community poll thing, and the winner of that they put back in the Forzathon. That's what they did with this 911 2019. A couple of weeks ago they put it back in Forzathon, so it was available already twice in Forzathon. Also this season it's available in the Team Online adventure if you want to get your hands on it. But even then, if you look for it on the auction house, you will not find it. And if you do find it, it's probably 20 million. The GT2 RS, you can just buy, I think. Yeah, they're just going. This GT3 RS, yeah, it's not that bad. But unfortunately, there's also a pre-order edition if you bought the game on Amazon, and that one is setting the records on Goliath because it comes with a bit different stats and handling than this thing here. And although it is just available in the Autoshow, this one, but the pre-order edition is way better, and people want to get their hands on it, and they're getting strange things happening that you can buy them for like 20-30 bucks on eBay and stuff. So people are doing business with these pre-order cars. I find it a bit, I don't know, not sure what I have to think about it, but it's depending on where you bought the game, you get rewarded with a pre-order car, and the other pre-order cars are not available. And that's all fine if there's nothing special about it, like the Focus or the Camaro or the Mercedes AMG or something. That's all fine. But if this thing is setting records here or there on Goliath, for instance, yeah, then it becomes a wanted car, and you cannot get your hands on it. And now people are making a business of it. Yeah, it is what it is, but I find it all a bit strange. 2018 Cayenne Turbo. We have a 2012 in the game that you can just buy, but this 2018 is wheel spin only. the only way to get it, and it's also one of those you cannot find on the auction house, as far as I know. The rest you can get. The Cayman, one of those two is related to the campaign, I think. The GTS is level 8 in the road series. 2015 GTS is level 8 in the road series, which most people do the road races, I guess. Maybe not dirt or cross country, but for sure they get this one. The rest is more or less nothing special about it, as far as I know. I'll double check here. A couple of car passes coming up, but the rest you can just buy, I think. The 959 Rally Rate is a car pass car. This one is you can buy it. It's 10 million, but you can just buy it in the auto show. And this 356 Coupe is also a car pass car. Other than that, nothing wrong with it for one reason or another. Although I have Porsche designs for most of the cars, I don't have one for the 911 Turbo S, apparently. I do have one, but apparently did not put it on. The Ram Rebel is the first car that you get if you arrive on Fortune Island, but it's also one of those 6 that you can download if you arrive on Fortune Island, which sort of makes it yeah, that you have 2. Pretty simple. And the other one, the 2017 Power Wagon, is related to the Dirt Series. Level 8 you need to reach to get that one. So anything of that Ram brand here you will not find in the auto show. The Reliant, can you get that? Yep. Thought for a second it was a barn find, but it is not. The Renault, yeah, a bunch of Clio's RS. We have the normal one. You have a Forza edition. That is, as always with Forza editions, wheel spin only. The Clio Williams 1993 is street scene. More specifically, level 8 you need to reach to get this thing. The Renault 5 Turbo Forza edition is wheel spin only, of course, and the Alpine A110 1600 is level 16 from the Dirt Series. That's where this thing comes from. Then we have the Saleen S5S Raptor, is Fortune Island related, treasure chest number 8. That's where you find this thing. Now we come to the Subarus. This 22B STI is, as far as I know, that's a barn find. And then the 2004 is also a wheel spin only, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check the list again. Yep, 2004 is wheel spin only. Also, eventually I picked one up from the auction house, I think, but usually that page is empty. So if you do, meanwhile we are 3 months into the game, so it's all about legend painters and such. So if you do find one nowadays, you more than likely will pay 20 million for it. And then, yeah, we have these 2 cars here, the Sunbeam Tiger and the Talbot Sunbeam Lotus. I'm not so sure why, or when we started up this game, these things, you could, as you can see, it has a download symbol. Is it related to VIP, or is it related because you played another game, or I have no idea. Maybe it's related to Forza Horizon 3 or so, that I just could download them for free. And but it's not related to car pass or anything, so I'm guessing it's VIP reward or something like that. I don't know. Either way, it is downloadable content, so you cannot find them in the auto show. The Toyota trucks you can find in the auto show. I'm even missing one. Oh yeah, the Baya truck I didn't even bother buying. I didn't buy anything for that matter. Most of these cars just came from the wheel spins. The Triumph, I don't think you can find any of those in auto show. The TR3B is car pass, one of the earliest weeks of the game. You could get that from the car pass. The TR6 is coming next week or the week after that. It's also car pass, and this Spitfire is barn find. The Sagaris you can buy in the auto show for 86,000, and if you do so, then you find inside of the perk trees this Sagaras Forza edition. So that's you buy this one and you get this one on top of it. That's sort of what it comes down to. And the Cerbera Speed 12 is barn find. So also, yeah, you can find one TVR, this one in the Autoshow, but this one barn find, and the other one is inside that one car. The Ultima evolution is level 4 from the drag strip series. I don't think it goes much higher than level 4, maybe level 5, but there are a few drag races, a sort of series that they made of it, but yeah, it's like 4 or 5 races and that's it. That's a whole drag strip series, and then you get this Ultima. The Vauxhall, or Opel as they call it here in mainland Europe, we have a Corsa and an Astra and so on. You can just buy them in the Autoshow, except for the Insignia VXR or the Insignia OPC, and the Speedster or the Vauxhall VX220 Turbo, which you can get from Car Pass. All the rest you can just get in the Autoshow. Then we have Volkswagen. Yeah, we have this 2017 Beetle, and that is you can just get in the Autoshow. It's a number 34 Rockstar, whatever, and but you also have a Andretti Racing, it's called, and then you have a number 34 GRC Beetle Rockstar Energy, and that is wheel spin only, but that is a 2014 version. But you can only get it from the wheel spin. The other one you can just buy in the Autoshow. Although I'm not sure if they come with the same stats or not. I won this one from the wheel spin and I just used that one. Then we have the 2014, that's a Golf Mark 7, nothing wrong with it. The 2010 Mark 6 on the other hand is wheel spin only. And it's one of those cars very hard to find on the auction house, so yeah. Probably meanwhile became one of those 20 million cars. There is no Mark 5, and the Mark 4, 3, 2 and 1 you can just get from the Autoshow. Anything else? Let's have a look in the older ones here, not immediately. We have the Type 2 Deluxe Forza Edition. That is wheel spin only, since it's a Forza edition, but it also was available in Forza Ton already once or twice, I think. So, and also a pickup of this van will be available one of the next weeks in Car Pass. I'm seeing this Desert Dingo. Both of them are Autoshow, I think. One of these two was you could pick as a starter car when you started up the cross country series. I think it's the Paya bug. The Volvo Iron Knight is available in the Autoshow for 800,000, but this week for some reason or another they put it in the Forzaton shop, as I've noticed. But there are also some seasonal events which need to be done with this truck, so that's why they probably put it in there. Other than that, Volvos can be bought in the Autoshow. And then we have the last one here, which is the Zenvo ST1, and that's the world's fastest business story. 3 stars, 10 chapters, 30 stars in total, and then you get this thing. And then we sort of went over the whole car list thing, which you more or less can find in the game. And also what you can also do is, for instance, you will not find if you look on the DS automobiles, you just go through these brands here and you suddenly come up to DS automobiles, a DS3 Racing 11, and you're like, what? Where did that come from? It's not in the game, you cannot find it. So already in the auction house, in that list of makes and models, if you go all over all of them if you want, you will find some cars which are not in the game yet, that are more than likely Forzaton rewards or Car Pass cars that are upcoming, and they already put them in the system. This DS3 Racing 2011 Citroën, more or less, although it's DS Automobile, it's become a brand on its own now. What else do we have? We have the Mosler, for instance, Also that you will not find Mosler in the game anywhere, but you have the Hoonigan. Ford RS200 is in there. The Mosler. Let's have a look. No auctions to display. But surprisingly, sometimes you see these things show up here or there, because there are some people who get their hands on it earlier or whatever. All kind of strange things happening. That's why I said this whole auction house thing is a bit of a charade. But yeah, it is what it is. I just went over most of the cars. I think I've covered all of them that you could not find in the auto show. Some of them are related to campaign, to Forzathon, to wheel spin only, and some of them are just playground being a bit ridiculous by giving different pre-order rewards to depending on where you buy the game. They should bring in some sort of pre-order pack, I think, with all of the cars in there. To all of, at least to the people who pre-ordered the game, because it's kind of strange that one guy gets a McLaren, the other one gets a Porsche, and then another one gets a Ford Focus. I mean, really? Especially if some of these cars become, let's say, needed for certain rival events or whatever within the game, then it becomes a problem. That was it for this video. The auction house charade of Forza Horizon 4. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.